All right, so let's go to cancer real quick. There's a substance called Laetrile, B17. Vitamin B17 was found in the 50s, 60s, 70s and published to be a cure for almost every cancer on Earth. And it didn't take long to prevent cancer, cure cancer with Laetrile. Laetrile is another name for vitamin B17. Amygdalin is another word for that. And it's found in its highest concentrations in apricot seeds. And G. Edward Griffin, this is a part of his team's effort in making sure that there's a future world without cancer. You might want to read his book, World Without Cancer. He wrote 50 years ago all about Laetrile and vitamin B17, the attacks by the FDA, getting that kicked out of our circulation of consumer goods here in America because they needed a cancer cure to be gone. We didn't want that known.
Pat, your story, you're from Adelaide, as I mentioned. Yes. Now, you're the one who had the rather extensive cancer.
Well, yes, I started in 1970. I had the first cancer in 1970. I had a mastectomy, after which I was told that they had got it all, but would give radiation to be sure. And 3 months later, I had a hysterectomy. A little later on, I had another growth appear. That was removed. I had further radiation. That didn't control the cancer. I had 3 more growths appear. This was when it was decided I had to have an adrenalectomy. They performed the adrenalectomy. This didn't control the cancer. And in the middle of 1976, I was going downhill very fast. And by this time, I had become a little disillusioned with the treatments that I had been receiving. In the beginning, I had great confidence in the medical profession, and I felt, particularly when they told me they'd got it all, I tried to live, my normal life again, but it just kept recurring.
Now, you went to Mexico.
And I went to Mexico.
Right. Now, did you know what sort of treatment you were going for? Is it similar to what John and Maureen have been talking about?
No, well, it was Laetrile that I had in Mexico, but no, we just went. My husband felt that we had nothing to lose. Let's go and find out what it's all about. And when we got there, we found this clinic with 15 doctors working there, all confident that cancer is a systemic disease, not a local disease. You treat the whole system.
Now, this injection, I've got it written down here because you call, I didn't know how to pronounce it, Laetrile.
Laetrile. The extract of the apricot kernel.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Well, now what's the story there? Is this clinic a medically accepted clinic? Is it a government-accepted clinic in Mexico?
Yes, of course. But what seems to be accepted in one country doesn't always seem to be accepted in another country.
Well, that's quite true, especially in the medical field, isn't it?
Yes, this is true.
Have you had any sustenance treatment? John was saying he's on tablets now.
Yes, we have a sustenance treatment of the Laetrile tablets, but of course it's 18 months since I've been back now, and I'm just going so very, very well that I'm cutting my dosage down. But you definitely have to have the natural food diet. Laetrile just doesn't cure or control without the natural food diet.
So you're on a natural food diet as well?
My word, yes.
Well, thank you for that. Would it be right in saying that all of you were virtually abandoned by established medicine in this country?
Yes.
It depends how far you want to go, Mike. As the doctor said to me, they can keep you alive with certain operations, but there's something about quality of life.
Well, that's true. Now, this is the thing that I find interesting looking at all of you. None of you have suffered loss of hair, and you're not sort of walking around in a bad way. Well, no, a lot of these treatments, the cure is worse.
We've had my hair.
You did, but you got it back.
It's grown,
yes.
Yes, but most orthodox treatment is toxic, and this is why you lose your hair. But the unorthodox approach, it's not toxic, and it doesn't cause this hair loss.
Well, look, can I put this to you?
It builds the body up, it doesn't tear it down.
Can I put this to you? And it's a blunt statement, but I think for the benefit of people watching, I think your reaction could be interesting. Now, a lot of people get remissions from cancer. Dear Gloria, who we just watched there, she had a remission. She was able to go back to work after having been very, very bad. And it's almost as though you get a second chance anyway. And you see people come good, and then they slide away again. Obviously, you people feel that you're not on a remission, that you have got something else going for you. Is that correct?
Well, we're doing something for ourselves. And this is very important because all through my operations, I felt so helpless. It was just a matter of go home and hope you don't get it again. And it's a very helpless feeling.
Yes.
But once you know how to prevent it, you think differently.
They killed my father-in-law in a hospital, and I wasn't going to let that happen to as many people as possible.
Well, I'm sure you did it out of more than just revenge, because you are a fiery speaker and very entertaining. And the thing that sends chills down my spine, Brian, is that this has been going on with cancer since the 60s. People are, it's so ingrained that cancer is a deadly disease that there's nothing you can do about it. I hate to say it, but cancer is 100% preventable and 100% curable as long as you catch it before it destroys you. Just like you can't, after someone's liver has been destroyed by remdesivir, it's pretty hard to bring them back because their liver has been liquefied. So it's kind of, that's what that drug does. And so you've studied this whole thing, the COVID, that mirrors the situation with nutrition and Laetrile that my dad went through in the 70s. He was curing thousands of patients. He was taking people that were on stage 4 cancer and turning it around in his clinic using nutrition and vitamin B17 and Laetrile. And he was having such great success that the FDA came after him, the AMA came after him, took away his license, took away his practice, and eventually killed him at a young age from the stress. He had open heart surgery in Houston, and they allowed air to get in his blood. So, and they allowed air to get in his blood during the surgery and caused him to be a vegetable. So my father went through this same exact thing. And Ed Griffin says so poignantly that the studies that Sloan Kettering did in the 70s proving without a shadow of a doubt that Laetrile worked in the prevention of tumors from metastasizing. They proved it over 60 trials with Dr. Sigamora, Matsui or something. I don't pronounce his name right, but here's the point. That he proved it, and Sloan Kettering, the upper people that were funded by the pharmaceutical companies, said, nope, we don't accept that. Let's fire that doctor who was well-respected. He was one of the most well-respected doctors at Sloan Kettering for years. They put in this other guy. They paid $1 million to him. And guess what? When he did the same study recreating it, the mice that were bred to grow tumors stopped growing tumors when they were injected with saline and continued growing tumors when they were injected with Laetrile. And that's what they brought out to the world, telling the world that Laetrile is ineffective back in the 70s. So that, Ed will tell you, was the genocide of our time. Millions of people have died from that cover-up that continues today. Doctors that would come out and say, hey, I've got an answer for cancer today would go to jail or lose their practice if they say the word Laetrile. But the problem now is that people know that they've been lied to, so they're open to hearing the truth. And once you look into it, Brian, once you look deeply into the story of Laetrile and how it's been demonized and how the Hunses lived to be 120 years old and they eat 200 apricot seeds a day, the answer has been found, as Ed Griffin so poignantly says, and it's in a little tiny seed